Hello students, today we are going to study a new topic. The name of this topic is three questions. This has been written by this topic is written by a famous Russian story writer that is known as Lev Tolstoy. Lev Tolstoy is famous for these kind of moral stories. Here, three questions is a very good topic that has been mentioned in class 7 in CBSE board. So today we are going to study this topic. So my dear friends, many questions comes to your mind sometimes, yes or no? So do you get these answers? Yes or no? Obviously, some questions you may get answers, but for some questions you will not get any answers. But these questions, these answers you may get some in other situations. So today what happens here in three questions, let's go to the topic and read it. Let's go. So once there was a king. I want to say you that what happens in the first paragraph. Once there was a king who was in a trouble. Was in trouble. What was the trouble? No, he was not getting answers of the three questions. What are these three questions? The three questions are: what is the right time to begin something? What is the right time to begin something? That means the first question gives importance on time. And the second question is who are the right people that he should listen to? That means who are the right people to whom he will listen? That means the second question gives importance on the people or the person. And the third thing is that what is the most important thing for him to do? What is the right what is the right work to do? Okay, right work to do, right duty to do. So that means the third question gives importance on the work or duty. So in the first paragraph, this happens. Okay, then again I am telling you what are the three questions. What is the right time to begin particular work? First thing. Second thing is that who are the right people to whom the king will listen to? And third question is that what is the most important job or duty for the king to do? These are the three questions that came to the mind of the king. So I think the first paragraph is clear now. Dear students, let's go to the second paragraph. Okay. In the second paragraph, the king, as he was not getting answers of these three questions, he sent his messengers. He sent his messengers. My friends, just try to remember the word messenger. Messengers. The person who sends message is called messenger. Okay. In message, you can get Message. But in messenger, everywhere you will get the vowel E. The vowel E. Okay. So I think you can understand it very well, or you understood it very well. So the king therefore sent messengers throughout the kingdom, promising a large sum of money to anyone who would answer these three questions. He said that if anyone is there in my country who can give the answers of my three questions, definitely I will give him some handsome amount of money or something, jewelry, whatever that may be. Okay, the king promised. So what happened after that? Let's see. Let's see. Then many wise men came to the king, but they all answered his questions differently. So, in order to answer the questions of these three answer these three questions, many people came, many wise men came. Who will come? Wise people come. The farmer will not come, no? So the wise people will come. So they came and answer the questions differently. What was the answer of the first question? Let's see. Let's see it. Okay. So in reply to the first question, some said the king must prepare a timetable. As our parents usually say that if you want to manage something, or if you want to cover every topics very clearly, that means you have to prepare a timetable. Yes or no? It happens to us also. We also do like this. Happens na? We do na? Yes, we do it. Definitely. Then this was the suggestion of some wise people. And not only prepare the timetable, but follow it very strictly. This is very important thing. Follow it very strictly. Making timetable is not important. Important is that follow it strictly. My dear friends, can you say me how many of you have prepared a timetable and how many of you had followed it strictly? You can never follow it strictly because many things are there which creates obstacle in the middle of our work so that we have to leave it. Suppose your history teacher has given you to write something and he's giving you some punishment. So definitely you will leave the works of math teacher, you will complete the history works or history homeworks at the time of math period. This happens. This happens to every students inside the classroom, outside the classroom, everywhere. So I cannot. This is the tendency of human beings that it cannot follow or he cannot follow the timetable very strictly. He cannot follow it. Only in this way, they said, could you do everything in its proper time? Do you think? Can you do it? No, it's not. Others said that it was impossible to decide in advance the right time for doing something. So, as I told, everything cannot be done at a particular time because sometimes some other works are there that comes to your mind. You have to leave the previous work and you have to accept the new work. This happens. This is the line. Here you must understand it. The king should notice all that was going on and avoid foolish places and always to do whatever seemed necessary at that time. So they also told that the king should deviate from foolish pleasures. That means he should not he should not spend time foolishly, and he should not spend time with his near and dears, and leisure times he would not spend the leisure times. That must he should spend each and every time very, very carefully. This is the thing they told. These were the opinions of these were the opinion of wise people for the first question. Yet others said that the king needed a council of wise men who would help him to act at the proper time. Some other people also suggested that some counselors must be there to help the king because king cannot do everything properly. He is the only one. He cannot do everything properly. So this is was because one man would find it impossible to decide correctly, as I told you, without help of others, the right time for every action. So one must or the king must take the help of his counselors and decide what to do in what time. This is the thing here they told for the first question. This is not the last point of the first question. Some other points are also there. But then others said that there are some things which could be very urgent. Okay, this happens to our life also. That some urgent things happens. We leave the previous thing. We leave the work which we usually do. We leave that and we go to do the urgent matter. We want to solve the urgent matter. That happens to everyone's life. So they told that some urgent matters will be there. Then how can they do it? So these things could not be wait for the decision of the council. So the councillors they will take much time. The decisions in order to take the decision by the councillors it takes much time. That's why it is not to prepare timetable, take the permission of the councillors, and after that take the permission of the king. It is very difficult or it takes much time. That's why they were not agree with these wise people. And in order to decide the right time for doing something, it is necessary to look into the future. So they suggested that if we can know the future, if we can know the future, so if you can know what is going to happen tomorrow, then accordingly we can prepare the timetable today. Suppose tomorrow somebody is going to do a particular work. So accordingly, if we can know it by today itself, then if we can predict it by today itself, then what we will do? We will prepare the timetable accordingly so that nothing will happen. So everything will run smoothly. This happens. Then who can know about the future? Only magicians. Magicians can know about the future, they said. So this was the answer of the first question. Then what was the first question and what was the answer of the wise people? Just I am summarizing it. Okay. Then the first question was that what is the right time to do a particular work or to perform a particular work? Okay. As many wise people, they came to answer the first question. Some people said that to prepare a timetable and follow it strictly. And some other people told that it is very difficult. It is very difficult to follow a timetable very strictly. Okay, this is the thing. Some oppositions, some people gave the opposite view of it. And some otherwise people, for the first question, they gave the answer that the king must need some counselors so they can help to prepare all the timetables and they will help the king in every way so that everything can be done very easily. And for the same question, some other wise men, they came and they answered that some works are there which deserves some urgent resolve to solve it urgently. That's why they said that it is better to predict the future. And who can know about the future? The magicians. The magicians can know about the future. So the king should keep some magicians so that they can know what is going to happen in future or tomorrow. So accordingly, they can prepare a timetable. So got do you think the king get the answer of the first question properly? It's obviously no. Then, what was the second question? My friends, do remember it? What was the second question? Second question is that who are the right people the king must accept, or the who is the right person he should accept. This is the thing. So, to the second question, to the second question. Okay. In their answer to the second question, some said that the people must necessary to the king were his counselors. Some wise men told that counselors are very essential for the king. Some other people said that the priests were very necessary to the king. And some other people said, no, 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 no. What does counselors do? What does priests do? Sorry, what do counselors do? What do priests do? Rather, these are the doctors. Doctors can do something. And again, some other people said that the soldiers are most needed people for for the king. So again, for the second question, the king did not get any satisfactory answer. To the third question, this happens also. Some said science is very important. What was the third question? The third question is that what is the right job? What is the right work or duty? Development of science, or knowing, fighting, okay, warfare, fighting, So is important. Some told that knowing science is very important, and some others said that religious worship is also very important. So these are the different opinion they have been given to the before the king, and the king did not get any satisfactory answer of these three questions. Then what did the king do? As the answers were so different, then the king, what did he do? The king was not satisfied and gave no reward. And gave no reward. And he did not give any reward to anyone. Instead, he decided to seek the advice of a certain hermit who was widely known for his wisdom. See, so he wanted to go to meet a hermit who was widely famous for his wisdom. Wisdom is a word wise that comes from the word wise. Okay, wise, wise. Wise is an adjective. Okay, so wisdom, or is wisdom, that word comes from wise. Wisdom wisdom, that this word comes from the word wise. Okay, wise. So knowledgeous, that means knowledgeous. Okay, then the hermit was famous for his knowledge, famous for his wisdom, everything. Okay, and what did he do? But where does the hermit live, or where did the hermit live? Let's see. The hermit lived in a wood which is never left. The hermit was constantly, regularly living in an wood. He saw no one but simple people. Only he meets the people whose behavior, whose what you can say, the clothings, whose attitude is very simple. So the king put on ordinary clothes. Why did the king put ordinary clothes? Because the hermit was accepting only ordinary people or simple people. So the king thought it is not good to meet the hermit with in a kingship way. Rather, he dressed himself as an ordinary man and he went to the king before he reached the hermit's hut. So hut, H-U-T, hut, H-U-T, you know what do I mean by hut? It's a small room. It's a small room. So before reaching the hermit's hut, the king left the horse. Why did he leave the horse? Some distance. Because if he goes with the horse, that means he becomes extraordinary. And you know very well that hermit only accepts some ordinary people. That's why the king kept his horse in some distance away from the hermit's hut. Okay, so his horse with his bodyguard. So he left the horse with the bodyguard. Then the bodyguard was staying with the horse, and the king went to hermit's hut on foot. This is the thing. This is mentioned here to try to understand, my friends. Okay. As the king came near the hermit's hut, he saw the hermit digging the ground in front of his hut. That means when the king reached near the hermit's hut, he saw the hermit was digging the ground. He greeted the king, hermit greeted the king and continued his digging. The hermit was old and weak. He was an old hermit and little bit feeling weak because he was doing the work throughout the day. This is the thing, you must understand it. You can understand it. And as he worked, he was breathing heavily. And whenever someone works, definitely a heavy breathing comes. This also happens to the hermit as he was working. At that time, some heavy breathing was coming. This is the thing. the king saw. And the king went up to the hermit and said, what did he say? You think? So the king went to the hermit and said, the three questions. I have come to you, wise hermit, to ask you about the three questions. I want to ask you three questions. You know very well what are the three questions. He asked, what is the right time? Or second question is, what are the who are the people I must need? And what is the right job or the affair I must that is important to me? He told these three questions to the hermit. Do you think hermit gave any answer? No. Do you think hermit gave any answer? No. Hermit was listening everything, but he did not get any give any answer to the king. So the hermit listened to the king, but did not speak, did not answer anything. He went on digging. You are tired, said the king. Let's take the spade and work in your place. Let me take your spade and work in your place. So, as the hermit was not giving any answer, so the king told, please give me the spade, I will work. Then the hermit gave him the spade and he took rest there. He sat down there and the king started digging the ground. ग्राउंड को डिग करना मीन्स ग्राउंड को डिग କରିବା मतलब ଖୋଳିବା ତାଡ଼ିବା ଲାଗି in order to plantation in order to plant some trees new trees. Okay, this is called digging. You know very well. Okay, next. Yes, okay. When the king had dug two beds, that means the king now started digging the ground. He dug D-U-G. D-U-G. You students try to remember it. Dug. Uh, D-U-G. Uh, D-U-G. It's the past of dig. The past of dig. Dig ର past format ହେଲା dug. और dig का past format है dog. Okay. So the king had dug two beds. What do you mean by beds? Beds, you know very well. This is beds. B-E-D-S. This is not beds. Beds means one rectangular size where someone digging. Someone digs. जब तुम लोग कुछ मतलब कुछ प्लांट्स उगाने के लिए जो जो डिगिंग करते हैं जो एरिया को उसको बोलते हैं बेड्स जो जो एरिया को तुम माने डिगिंग करो कौन करिया ପାଇଁ କିଛି ଗଛ ଲଗେଇବା ପାଇଁ ସେଟାକୁ ବେଡ୍ ବୋଲି କୁହାଯାଉଛି ଏଠି okay try to understand it so when the king had dug two beds he stopped and repeated his questions he was repeatedly asking the question the hermit gave no answer but the hermit was not giving any answer but stood up and stretched out his hand for the spade and said now you rest and let me so though the king was asking the questions, his three questions you can say frequently, but the hermit was reluctant to give the answer of these questions. Rather, he stretched his hand, spread. Stretch means spread. Stretch, that means spread. Stretch. Stretch means spread. Okay? Spread. S-P-R-E-A-D. S-P-R-E-A-D. Spread. Stretch means spread. He spread out his hand for the spade and told the king, just you are getting tired, you just take rest and let me do some work. But the king did not give the spade and continued his digging. The king refused to give the spade. What do you mean by spade? Spade पता है ना तुम लोग को फावड़ा जिसको बोलते हैं हिंदी में और उड़िया में बोलते हैं उसको कोदाड़ा. So but the king did not give him the spade and continued to dig. But the king refused the hermit not to give the spade and he continues digging the ground. 1 hour passed, then another. The sun went down behind the trees. This is a very good line. Okay, 1 hour passed, then another. That means hours by hour that's passing. And The sun went down behind the trees. That means it becomes sunset. Okay, and the evening is approaching. The evening is coming, you can say. And the last of the king struck the spade. At last, the king struck the spade into the ground and said. So the king struck the spade. At last, kept the spade and said, I came to you, wise man. Who is the wise man here? The wise man is here, nobody else. This is the hermit. For the answer of my questions, if you can give me no answer, tell me so that I will return home. So the king told, Sir, wise man, I came to you to know the answer of these three questions. If you cannot give the answers of these three questions, so why shall I stay here? I will return home because I have to do many works. So here comes someone running, said the hermit. So suddenly, hermit saw a man who was coming, running towards them. Okay, and the hermit told the king, look at that man who was coming towards us. Who is coming towards us? Let's see. Who is that man? Who is that people? Sorry, who is that person? Let's see. So both of them, they went to help that person who was came or who came running towards them. Okay, let's see what happened next. The king turned round and saw a bearded man running towards them. His hands were pressed against his stomach, for whose blood was flowing. And when he reached the king, he fainted and fell down the ground or fell to the ground. The king and the hermit, they helped him. Okay, let's see what happened. So all of a sudden, both the king and the hermit, they saw a bearded man. Man means the man which has some beard in his cheek, beard. Bearded man, that man was running towards them, pressing his hand against the stomach. That means someone has attacked him. Someone had stabbed his stomach, okay, with the help of knife, from which blood was flowing. So, from that stomach, from his stomach, the blood was flowing, and his fingers were get were what wet by the blood, and see, and he reached the king. He fainted and fell the ground. Before telling anything, before expressing his view, before giving any information to the king or to the hermit, he fell to the ground. The king and the hermit, what did they do? I'm telling you, they removed the man's clothing and found a large wound in his stomach. So both of them, they saw that a great wound in his stomach. Whose stomach? It was the stomach of the bearded man. The king washed and covered it with his handkerchief, but the blood was not stopped flowing. For sometimes the king was taking care of that man with his handkerchief. Okay, so he was taking care of the man very carefully, you can say, but the flowing of the blood, it was not getting stopped. So what happened after that? The king redressed the wound until at last the bleeding stopped. So the king was taking care, and at last, however, the bleeding stopped. Then the bearded man, got relaxed. He felt better and asked for something to drink. So he asked to drink something. That means drink means here too. He was asking for some water. And the king brought fresh water and gave to him. By the time the sun had already been set and the air was cool. That means it was the evening time, you can say, or the darkness is approached. It is night, it becomes night, and this the king was feeling very tired, very fatigued by doing the whole day work. He wanted to take rest. That's why, with the help of the hermit, the the king he brought that wounded man to the chamber, to the hut, or into the hut of the hermit. So both of them they helped the wounded man. This is the thing. And after that, the king was feeling very sleepy. He took rest there. Okay, the king, tired by his work and the work he had done, lay down there on the floor. So the king, as he was feeling very tired, he slept there. And but the king was very in was very in a very consciousness that what had happened yesterday night or today night, and what how did I come to the king. And he also knew it very well that he had not been given the answers yet, and he is also remembering that he had to do many works after going from this place. These are the things that was going on in the mind of the king. It was several minutes before he could remember he could remember where he was and who is the strange bearded man laying on the bed was. Okay, he knew very well. He was in a conscious mind because whatever he had done, how did he spend the time yesterday? Okay, he remembered it very well. That's why he was telling. And forgive me, said the bearded man. So when it was the morning time, what happened? As the king opened his eye. Oh, this is the place where I spent the night. And he remembered this is the hut of the hermit. That's why. When he opened his eye, suddenly that bearded man asked him for forgiveness. And the king got surprised. Why did I forgive you? Who are you? I don't know you. And if you can give me that, you can give me or thanks to me only. But why shall you ask for forgive to me? Okay. So the king gets strange and he becomes surprised by listening these words. So after that, what happened? Let's see. So here, see. So the bearded man answered. I am just summarizing this topic, this paragraph. Everything you can find here. Okay. And what is there? So he told, the bearded man told, you don't me, sir, but I know you very well. How do you know you? How do I know you? Because I am that enemy of yours who show revenge on you. I am an enemy of you, sir. The bearded man told the king. Oh, you are my enemy? The king get surprised. Okay, you are my enemy. Then again he told, the bearded man told that he wanted to take revenge on the king. Because he, because why did he want to take revenge? Why did he want to take revenge? Because once this happened that the king had put that bearded man's brother into death. Okay, that means he killed the bearded man's brother and seized all his property. And seized all his property. Seized means take away something forcibly. Seized means take away something forcibly. Seize means take away something forcibly. Seize means take away something forcibly. Seized. Okay. So he told everything to the king. The king remembered the day. Okay. And again he told. What did he say? Now, I knew very well that you were coming to meet the hermit, and I have also planned that whenever you will return at the time, I will attack you and kill you. Okay, this was the planning of the bearded man or that wounded man. Okay, or that wounded man. Do you understand me? Next, what happened later? Let's see. But the day passed. As the king did not return, as the king did not return, so that bearded man or you can say that wounded man came from his hiding place, the place where he hid himself to kill the man or to attack the king. So he came out from that place. But you know very well that person is recognized by the bodyguard who was there. Okay, on that way. So as the bodyguard saw the man, as the bodyguard came to know this is the person like whose brother has been killed by the king, so this person might take revenge on the king. That's why he recognized him and started what? Attacking him. And however, the wounded man or that bearded man escaped from that bodyguard and reached near the hermit's hut. So, who did take care of him? The king and the hermit. So, I wish to kill you, but you saved my life, he told. Sir, I came to kill you. I came to take revenge on you. But, sir, you saved my life. So, this happens. Whatever he thought, his thought got topsy-turvy. Topsy-turvy means ulot palat hai jaa. Okay? So, everything happened opposite to him. So, this happens. Now, if I live, he said, he promised to the king, if I live, then I will serve with you or at your where palace as a most faithful servant. Not only I, but also my sons will do the same thing. Okay, forgive me. This is the word of the bearded man. He wanted forgiveness from the king. Sir, please, you forgive me. I came to you to take revenge. I came to you to take your life. Rather, you give me my life. Okay? If I will stay there, if I will alive, if I will live in this world, then I will, what shall I do? I will serve you as your most faithful servant. Not only I, he told, he also promised that next generation, that means his next generation, his sons will also serve him as the servant. This is the thing, this happens here. Now, the king was very happy. The king was very happy by making peace with the enemy so easily. Okay, it happens that if you think someone as your enemy, when everything will be solved very easily, that you feel happy. This happens to the king also. His enemy becomes his friend. This is the thing, and you own him as a friend. This is I told him, and he also told him. He also promised him that the doctors and the servants he will provide. That means the king will provide the doctors and servants to take care or to look after him. And the king also promised him to give back his whole property. So the king was very generous, you can say. The king was very kind, you can say here. He promised to return the property of the king as property of the man, as well as he also promised to give all the service. That means doctors, servants, he will provide to him so that he will get cured. This happens in the next paragraph. Leaving the wounded man, the king went out of the hut and looked round for the hermit. So now the king got very late. Okay, he wanted to go to or return to his palace. That's why he got ready, and before going, he wanted to ask the same question again to the hermit. Okay, and what did hermit doing at that time? The hermit was sowing seed. Sowing seed means मतलब सीड को लगाना. सो सीड को लगाना जैसे मंजी को लगेबा और मंजी बुणीबा को कुहाଯାଏ तो सीड को लगेବାକୁ କୁହାଯାଏ ଯାହା मतलब you try to understand it. Okay, so sowing seed so that The king went to him and asked the three questions. For the last time, he asked to the hermit. The hermit was on his knees, sewing the seeds in the bed, and that has been dug the day before. The king went up to the hermit and said, "For the last time, I beg to you answer my questions, wise man. Hi, wise man, please give the answer of my three questions. Please, otherwise, I'll go to my palace. So, because I have to do many works. This is the time. I'm getting late." So, what was the answer of the king of the hermit? Let's see. "You have already been answered," said the hermit, still bending down on the ground. So from there, the king, sorry, the hermit was sowing the seed. At the same time, also he was answering. Are you have been given answers. Okay, the king got aggressive and so told, "You have given me the answers from yesterday onwards. I am asking the same question, but you are not opening your mouth. Now you are telling that you have been answered. That means I have been answered. How is it? What do you mean? Okay, what do you mean? That means, what do you want to say?" Okay, then the king answered, sorry, then the hermit answered the three questions. This is very, very important. Just I am telling to you. Okay. So here in every question you will get here in every question you will get two answers. How many questions are there? We have we have three questions. That means we will get six answers. Answer is that between one is between king, one is between king and hermit, another is between hermit and hermit, sorry, I told the mistake. It is not hermit, it is and king and the wounded man. King and the wounded man. You try to understand. Number one fact is that first question was, what is the right time to answer the question? To answer the question, this question, hermit told that if you have not pitied my weakness yesterday, okay, and had not dug these beds for me, you'd have gone away. That means the the hermit told that if you have not come to me yesterday, you have not sowing, or you did not or show your kindness towards me, then what happened? You would return from me. If you would return from me, what happened to you? That man was hiding there to attack you. That means you would have put in trouble. Okay, so that's why. What is the right time? Right time is that time when the king was helping, when the king was helping the hermit. So I think you understood the situation. So the when the king was helping the hermit, that was the right time, because that was the time. Okay, if hermit would have not given him the chance to the king to dig the ground, then the king would have returned from that place and would have attacked by that person or that bearded man. So, what is the right time there? When the king was doing some work for the hermit, that was the right time. You understood? First answer of the first question? Yes, definitely. Let's go to the second question. Then, who is the important person here? The important person is hermit himself. Here, who is important person? Hermit himself is the important person here, because He has given the chance to the king to work. He has given the chance to the king to work. Otherwise, if he would not have given the chance, then what would happen? The king would return and would have faced the death. Then who is the important person here? Hermit himself was important person here for the king. Then you might get the second answer. Let's go to the third answer. What is the right job, right duty, or right affair? This was the question now. Whatever the king did, whatever the king did for the hermit, what did he do? He was digging the ground. He was digging the ground. That was the right thing for him. That was the right work for him. That was the right job for him to do. That was the right job for him to do. Do you understand the answer of the third question? I think you understood it. Okay. Then, then answer of these three questions you got now. Whatever happened between king and her. Then again I told you, you will get another answer of the time and person and the work. So let's go to the another side. What happened between the king and the wounded man? Again, the hermit told that to the king that if you have not or if you had not helped the wounded man, then he would have died. He would have died. Okay, then at proper time, at a particular time, you took care of that wounded man so that that particular time is the important time for you. When the king took care of the wounded man so that the wounded man got back his life, that was the very good time, that was the very nice time for the but that person, for the king. You understood it, I think. Then who is the right person here between king and wounded man? It is definitely, you tell me friends, this is wounded man because wounded man, okay, if he would have died, then he would not made any peace with the king. If he would not have made any peace with the king, then his future generations will what? They will run in a um, what way? In that manner. That means they thought that this man had killed our father or our uncle. That's why we must take revenge on him. So it was a good time, best time for them. Sorry, for the king. Sorry, he was the right man. He was the right person with whom he made friendship. He made friendship. So that who was the important person here? Wounded man is the important person here because the king made friendship with him and every what previous enmity that has been finished here. You understood? Okay. Second answer. Then what is the third answer? Whatever the job, whatever the work the king did for the wounded man, this is the right work. This is the, or that was the right work, you can say. What did he do? He took care of the wounded man. He saved his life. That was the right job or the right affair or the right work he did. So the king got the answer of these three questions. Okay, then so at last, Leo Tolstoy wants to say one thing is that the most important thing is here is that the most important time is that is time is that is now, that is present, because we can do anything at present. We cannot draw the past or we cannot think about the future. So future is uncertain and past has already been gone. So we cannot uh, do anything thinking or regretting about the past. Okay, and we also cannot do anything by planning something in future because future is uncertain and past is also not in our hand. So that whatever the time you want to, so the most important time is now, that is called present. This is the question that always comes in the examinations. Okay, so most necessary person is the person who is with you at that particular moment, at a particular moment. So the person who is with you at a particular moment, he is very important. Suppose you are living somewhere else, you are feeling ill. So who will help you? Your friends will help you. At the time, your friends are important, not your parents. Okay. So the people who are with you at a particular moment, they are important. Okay. And for one knows what will happen in the future and whether we will meet anyone else. The most important business is that to do that person. So this is the thing, because we were sent into this world for that purpose alone. Okay, so thinking of welfare of everyone, each and every creatures of this world, this must be in the mind of the human beings. That is the most prime thing that should be there in the mind of human beings, because this is the only thing for which the God has sent to us into this earth, because God had a particular purpose for which he had sent us to this world. He wants to observe that the creature which I have sent to the world, what actually he is doing there. Okay, so thinking welfare, doing welfare of everyone, each and every creature of this world is the purpose of every human beings of this world. Thank you. I think you like this story. Thank you.